Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of Strength of Materials. In this session, I will discuss some numericals on temperature, stresses and strain of simple and composite bars. So let's start with the first one. A 4-meter long steel bar of square cross section of 40 mm side. So I'll just write down the length L is 4 meter, which is 4000 mm. Okay, the side value is given to me as 40 mm. So I can calculate the area because it's a square. So the area will be side square, which is 40 square, 1600 mm square, is heated through 75 degrees Celsius. So the value of T, which is final minus initial, is going to be 75 degrees Celsius with its ends clamped before heating. So if I have a rod like this, the ends are clamped and then it is heated, whose length is L. Now since it is heated to a temperature difference of T, obviously there will be some increase which is bound to happen, but it will not happen because of the temperature rise. The material will try to expand, but because of this constraint it will not be able to expand in length, and hence there will be a load, so there will be stresses generated in the material. Calculate the thrust exerted by the bar on the clamp if the clamp do not yield. So I have to find the thrust which is exerted by the bar. So what force the bar is going to exert, I want to know. So let me call it as R1 because the load is P. So whatever is applied by the bar is going to be resistance. So let me say the resistance is R1 for the first case when the clamps do not yield, and in the second case if the clamp yields by 0.6 mm. So del value is given as 0.6 mm, and I still need to calculate the thrust exerted. The value of E is given and the value of alpha is given. E is given as 210 gigapascal, which is 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. I am not writing the value of alpha because it is same. So we'll start solving. For the first case, the clamps do not yield. If the clamps do not yield, the stress is having a formula E alpha T, if you recollect from the derivation of the previous session. So here if I solve, E is 2.1 into 10 raised to 5, alpha is 11.5 into 10 raised to minus 6, and T is 75. So I get the value of sigma as 181.125 Newton per mm square. Now I know that sigma is equal to resistance upon area, which is 181.125. So therefore R1 will be 181.125 into 1600. My answer will be 289.8 kilonewton. So this is the first answer that I obtained. Now let's go to the second case where the clamp is yielding by 0.6 mm. So for this one, the formula of sigma is E into alpha T minus del upon L, and sigma, as I have written, is going to be R2 upon A. The value of E is 2.1 into 10 raised to 5, alpha is 11.5 into 10 raised to minus 6, T is 75, del is 0.6 and L is 4000. So area is again 1600. So when I substitute, I get the value of R2 as 239.4 kilonewton. So these are the two answers that I have obtained. Now let's go to another question. A steam pipeline measures 20 meter at a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. So the length L is given as 20 meter, which is 20,000 mm. The temperature is given as 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know if there is another temperature given, so I just write it as T and I leave it to it. The steam pipe carries superheated steam at a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius. Now you can observe this is the second temperature given, so obviously it was T1. So now I know that T2 is 300 degrees Celsius. So my T is going to be 280 degrees Celsius, difference between the two. If 80% of the possible expansion of the pipe is prevented from taking place, which means your prevented expansion is 0.8 times of free expansion, that is what is given. Find the stress induced in the material of the pipe having E as 210 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square and alpha is given as 11.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree Celsius. So I have to find sigma. Now this is going to be very simple. We will start with the free expansion calculation. The formula for free expansion is delta L, L alpha T. So L is 20,000, alpha is 11.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 and T is 280. When I substitute, I'll get delta L as 62.72 mm. I know that prevented expansion, let me call it as delta L1, is 0.8 times delta L. So this turns out to be 50.176 mm. So it turns out to be 50.176 mm. Now since there is a prevented expansion, obviously there will be some compressive stresses. So it is very easy to calculate sigma. It is always strain into E. Now the value of E is known to me. For calculating small e, can I use the formula delta L1 upon L, which is a general formula of strain into E. When I substitute the values, I get the value of sigma as 526.848 Newton per mm square. So it's a very easy numerical. Now let's take up the third numerical. A steel tube of 40 mm external diameter and 4 mm thick. So there is a steel tube given to me. External diameter, say DO, is 40 mm and the thickness T is given as 4 mm. Now since thickness is given, it is very simple to calculate DI. DI is DO minus 2T. So this will be 40 minus 2 into 4. So it will be 32 mm. Encloses centrally a solid copper bar of 30 mm. So obviously the diameter of the copper bar is given. So for copper bar, diameter is given to me as 30 mm. So if I draw the diagram, it is something like this. There is a steel tube, external diameter, internal diameter, and also there is a copper tube inside of 30. So I'll just draw like this here. Okay, the bar and the tube are rigidly connected together at the ends at a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. So they are rigidly connected. So I'll just draw the ends. So the external one is steel tube. This is 40 DO. This is 32. Say it is DI. And this inner one is DC. So this is your copper. And this one is steel. So this is how the diagram would look like. Find the stress and nature in each of the metal when heated at 180 degrees Celsius. So my T1 is 40 degrees Celsius and T2 is 180 degrees Celsius. So my T value will be 140 degrees Celsius. The value of alpha S, alpha C is given. ES and EC is also given. I am not noting down because it's already given. So I'll just write down to find. I need to find sigma S, sigma C. Now for solving this, you will understand that here these two are in parallel to each other. So I will be using the equations of composite bar. I will start with the load being equal on both of them. Now when you are talking about the load, you have to understand that these two material have different value of alpha. If you observe carefully, the value of alpha for copper is greater than the value of alpha for steel. So I'll start with alpha C being greater than alpha S. Now since alpha C is greater than alpha S, therefore there will be compression in copper and tension in steel, if you recollect the derivation. So I can say that the compressive force on copper will be equal to the tensile force on steel. Compressive force on copper will be equal to the tensile force on steel. When I say that way, I can use the formula of load, that is sigma C AC is equal to sigma S AS. Now I have to calculate AC and AS. It is very simple. For calculating AC, I'll use pi by 4 d square. Only one diameter is known. It is a solid rod. And for steel, it is a hollow rod. So I'll use pi by 4 d outer square minus d inner square. So let's quickly calculate area of steel as pi by 4 30 square. I get the answer as, okay, that's for copper, pi by 4 30 square. It is 706.86 mm square, and the area of steel will be pi by 4 d outer square minus d inner square, which is pi by 4 40 square minus 32 square. I get the answer as 452.4 mm square. So therefore I can write down sigma S into AS, which is 452.4, is equal to sigma C into AC 706.86. So therefore I can write down that the sigma C is 0.64 times sigma S. This is one equation that I find. Next I'll be using the equation which I have found out already, that is alpha 1 minus alpha 2 into T. Now if you observe here, instead of alpha 1, I'll use a higher value of alpha, so copper is more. So I'll write down alpha C minus alpha S into T is equal to sigma C upon EC plus sigma S upon ES. Here it doesn't matter in which order that you write because they are both positive. So here I know the values. Alpha C 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 5, and the value of alpha S is 1.08 into 10 raised to minus 5. I'll have to multiply with 140 is equal to, sigma C is not known, and EC is 1.1 into 10 raised to 5 plus sigma S upon 2.1 into 10 raised to 5. So therefore here I'll get, I'll just interchange the sides. So therefore I get sigma C upon 1.1 plus sigma S upon 2.1 is equal to 86.8. This is what I get. So this is my equation 2. When I substitute equation 1 in 2, I will get sigma S as 82.04 Newton per mm square, and the value of sigma C I get as 52.51 Newton per mm square. So these are the two values that I get. Now this is not it, because it is written that I have to find the stress and the nature. Now here we have discussed that there is compression in copper and tension in steel. So here I am just going to write that there is tension in steel and compression in copper. So these are the numericals for temperature, stresses and strain in composite bars and simple bars. I hope you have understood the lecture. If you have any doubts or you want me to solve any question, write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon for latest updates of my videos. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.